Nah. We can't stop. We won't stop. That damn culture strikes again, huh? That damn culture strikes again. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. The Houston Texans have done it. Finally. Can't believe it. Absolute shocker. Not really. We knew this was coming. The Houston Texans cut linebacker Zach Cunningham in a shocker. Like I said, not really. Something that we definitely seen coming down the pipeline. We're going to talk about, we're going to break it down. We're going to get to all the nuances, all the nitty gritty and what really went down. But before we do that, like I've been saying the last couple videos, the goal of the year is for us to reach 5K subscribers. We got to get to 5K. The subscribers been going up, but we got to get to 5K. We get to 5K. I got something special, something really special for a couple of my subscribers. But we got to get to 5K first. Trust me, y'all don't want to miss it. Y'all want to be a part of that. Also, hit them links in the descriptions. Follow me on social media. A couple of y'all, appreciate everybody that was went live with me the other day when I went live on IG for the first time. It's going to happen again. And I know, hey, y'all can enter y'all questions, and I answer your questions live. You never know. I might bring some of y'all on. You never know, but you gotta follow me first. In order to do that, you gotta follow me. So hit the link in the description. Follow your boy, and we can get this going. You never know. I might bring you up. I might pull you up on the call. Be like, hey, you live with Spitz. What go down? So you never know. So you don't want to miss this. You want to be a part of this. So hit the links in the descriptions. So let's go. Now, the Houston Texans have cut outside linebacker Zach Cunningham, who is at the very least the second best player on the defense behind Justin Reed. At the very least, and undisputedly, he's the highest paid player on the defense. A guy who you drafted in 2017, in the same year as you drafted Deshaun Watson, and here we are 5 years later, and you're cutting him. Like I say, a complete non-shocker. It's something we definitely seen coming down the pipeline with the multiple things of him, just him not being a culture fit, whatever that means. I mean, he was suspended last game against the Colts. He missed the game early on this year for the same thing. Also, even when he has been playing, he hasn't given a significant amount of snaps. He hasn't been an all-down linebacker. He hasn't been playing all the snaps he's normally playing. I think even one game he didn't even start. He was there, but he didn't start. So we know this organization and him have been butting heads for a long time with this regime. Maybe not prior, but definitely with this regime, with the David Culley, Nick Caserio, Jack Easterby, the way it's ran right now, he's definitely been butting heads, and they cut him. I would definitely like to see him got traded, because as far as like you getting assets back, I know the trade deadline has came and passed. I would have held on to him and tried to trade him. This whole he missed a COVID test, whatever, man. Like I say, y'all can save me with that mess. Even if he did miss a COVID test, I think if he did do it, he did it on purpose to get cut. And I'm gonna tell you why, because he actually has himself in a very good position. But like I say, Zach Cunningham, a guy that we drafted in the second round last year. I mean, not last year, second round in 2017, the pick after you drafted Deshaun Watson. Right now, in the 4.5 seasons he's played with the Texans, he has a total his career tackles are 570. He's 86 away from being the all-time leading tackler. He was 86 tackles away from being the all-time leading tackler. Outside of his rookie year, he's had 3 straight seasons up until his rookie from 18, 19, and 20 that he's had over 100 tackles. Last year, he led the league in tackles. Has 18 career pass deflections, 1 interception that he ran back for a touchdown. He has 6 sacks, 6.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 3 fumble recoveries. I know one of the forced fumbles happened against the Titans. Should have been a fumble recovery in the game. That's something I griped on him about, because he was too busy flexing as they're recovering the fumble, and Ferguson got it for a touchdown. And during that Titans game, and that game actually should have been we should have more than 5 turnovers. We should have had at the very least 6 or 7, if not 8. But that's a conversation for another day. I talked about that in the last video. The Titans video breakdown. When you're cutting a guy like this, and then you got David Culley come out there acting like it was his decision. Talking about when you don't do the things I asked you to do. Basically saying that it was an easy decision for me. Like he was the guy. One, like he was the guy who suspended him, and then 2, like he's the guy who actually cut him. If y'all believe that, I got land in Arkansas I want to sell y'all. I got some land in Arkansas. I got some land in Wisconsin. I got some land in Alaska that y'all might want to look into. Y'all might want to buy. If y'all believe that David Culley had any type of authority to cut, suspend for one, definitely to cut the cut Zach Cunningham. Again, like I've been saying, the tank command. We tank it. Embrace the tank because he is at the very least your second best player on defense and your highest paid player, and you cut him for no damn reason because he doesn't fit the culture. Like, come on, remember, this is the same culture, the exact same culture. The brain trust, the same culture that traded Davion Clowney for nothing. They got rid of Hopkins. They forced JJ to be like, you know what, I don't want to be part of this, even though I'm the most decorated player in your franchise. I don't want to be a part of it. Your most popular player, everybody, Dre probably gonna be should be our first Hall of Famer, the first person in the Ring of Honor, cut ties and wash hands with, even though he's retired. And then your franchise quarterback, you alienate him. The same culture. This the same culture. Not to mention the same culture that a week ago suspended Justin Reed, and then now this week he's nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year. He's your nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year. You just suspended him a week ago, and now he's the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for your franchise. Give me a break. Like give me a break. This is what I'm talking about. This is the culture that they're trying to build. What culture? What, that you don't know what you're doing? Like this makes absolutely no sense. Like, what they are doing over there makes absolutely no sense at all. At all. And like I say, I understand this. I understand, and I'm not surprised with this. I would have rather them got rid of him via a trade. That way you get some type of compensation back. This right here, them cutting him, worries me even more about the Deshaun Watson trade. It really does. It worries me that they definitely will take less to get rid of somebody. Definitely would. And that right there is you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. That's not good business sense. It's just not. To take 50 cents, 30 cents, 45 cents of a dollar just to get rid of said dollar because you're ready to get rid of it. Like, you're done with it yourself. You don't want it no more. You're ready to part ways by any means necessary. That you'll take it. You'll sell it for a discount price because you're trying to get rid of it. You know, like when you go to the store and you go in and you see some nice stuff and they got a discount price because they trying to bring in their new inventory, so they got to get rid of all their old inventory. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. And stores can do that because they got good quality inventory coming in. You don't have any good quality inventory as far as players coming in. And you don't have any good quality inventory as far as players on the roster as of right now. So, to do that makes no sense. At all. At all. But again, are we surprised? No. Because like I said, this is the same culture that did those things before. Alienate Deshaun Watson. Alienate J.J. Watt. Trade Clowney at the time when Clowney was coming off an all-pro type of season. I think he was second team all-pro that year. I think he was, if I'm not mistaken. Coming off of that season, I think it was his best season as far as stack-wise, too. Trade him for a third-round pick and Jacob Martin. And, what's his name? Martavius Mingo. And then Trey Hopkins, who's definitely coming off all-pro, who's one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the league at that time. You trading him for David Johnson and a second-round pick. This is the same culture that does that. So are we surprised? Not to mention it's the same culture that suspends a guy and then a week later nominates him to be your team's nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. In what world does that make any type of sense? Explain that. It doesn't. You can't explain it. And then this whole 2017 draft class is completely with the shit. Just completely just toe up. Like, Rick Smith's and you know what? The fix is in. Because, remember, this is Rick Smith's last draft class, was that 2017 class. And, by golly, us fans, everybody, a lot of people wanted Rick Smith gone, actually gave Rick Smith credit on that draft class. Now, I know most of that, majority of that, like 85 to 90% of that is because he got Deshaun Watson in that draft. I'm not disputing that. But everybody kind of applauded him on that draft. But if you notice what happened, nobody except Deshaun Watson is on this roster anymore. Carlos Watkins, I see him score a touchdown for the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday. He's a D lineman catching a pick six, running in for a touchdown. I get it was against Taysom Hill, but still making quality plays. As soon as I seen that W on his name, I said, I bet that's Carlos Watkins. And sure enough, it's Carlos. I said, damn, it is Carlos Watkins, a guy who was drafted in the 2017 draft class. Like I say, just cut that draft class all the way up. Now, back Zach Cunningham. Zach Cunningham is in a good position. I don't think anybody's really going to claim him off of waivers, and I think he's going to be able to decide himself where he wants to go. And I think that he's going to be somebody who's definitely going to want to go to a contender. He definitely wants to go to a contender. I'm pretty sure he wants to go to a contender. And the teams I'm thinking about, playoff teams. Always the Chiefs are always going to be in the mix because of who they got at quarterback. I don't really think Tampa Bay will go after him. You never know. I can see Arizona because for some reason Texans like going to Arizona. JJ's there. He's not playing. Hopkins is there. I can see him going to Arizona. But the number one team I think he'll probably end up is them damn Titans. It makes too much sense. Remember, one, their head coach was the DC, and Mike Vrabel was the DC. Cunningham's rookie year, so he knows Cunningham when the Texans drafted Cunningham. Two, Cunningham with the Vanderbilt. If I'm not mistaken, Vanderbilt's in Nashville. So he's from Alabama, but he knows the area. He went to Vanderbilt. Three, they're a team who should run away with the AFC South because they've already swept the Colts, and even though they lost to us, it's us, and we've been officially eliminated from the playoffs. The first team in the NFL eliminated from the playoffs. Anyway, if that's not embarrassing enough. So, there's that. So, you have Mike Vrabel, used to be the DC as the head coach. He went to Vanderbilt. They should win the division easily because they've already swept their biggest competitor in the division, the Colts. He has to come to Houston as a Titan. The last game of the season is at Houston against the Texans. So, you can kind of get some little revenge about him not fitting the culture. And, most of all, like I've been coining them, they the Nashville Titans. They the Nashville Texans. That's what I call them. I call them the Nashville Texans. Reason why? David Questenberry on their team, drafted by the Texans. Dante Hilliard was in the Texans camp last year. Ben Jones, drafted by the Texans. Dante Foreman, who is his 2017 draft classmate with the Houston Texans. Dante Foreman was the 3rd round pick, while Zach Cunningham was the 2nd round pick draft class. I think they got a couple of our former coaching staff, and nothing to make it a little bit more familiar. And somebody else on that team that they have that played for the Texans. I can't think of who it was. I know last year they had both Clowney and they had Jonathan Joseph, but it's somebody else too. It's somebody else besides. I know they got Ben Jones. I know they got David Questenberry. I know they got Deontay Foreman. It's somebody else on that team that used to play for the Texans that the Texans drafted. If I'm not mistaken. And like I said, Dante Hill, we didn't draft Dante Hill, but he was in our camp this year. He played, I think, at the tail end last year. He was definitely in our camp at the beginning of this season. So they have a very familiarity, and I could definitely see him going to that team, mostly to get revenge. I could definitely see him going to that team. Now, it makes too much sense, to be honest with you. It does. It just clearly does. It makes too much sense. And then that way he can finally wear them Oilers jerseys. But no, I'm just playing. But it just like I said, it makes too much sense. And I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that happen. I can really definitely see him going over there. And it just shows again once how much a joke is this franchise. You're getting rid of all your good players. Like, it gets to the point. And Zach Cunningham, for whatever he's worth, like I said, he led the league in tackles last year. He has 3 straight years of 100-plus tackles. I'm not saying he's a guy who's going to change the defense. I'm not saying he's a guy who's a top 20 NFL player. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is if you put him on a good team, on a good defense, he can be an impactful player. Not an impact player, but he can be an impactful player. Make some good plays and help you. He's going to be a tackling machine. He can rack up tackles. So that right there is going to be looking intriguing to some other teams. And when you talk to them, when you compare that to the talent that we don't have and the way the team is playing, like I said, the way this offense is, David Culley ain't got no right to be fussing at nobody on the defensive side. And for some reason, like they constantly picking and poking at the defense. The defensive players are the ones getting suspended, and the defensive players are the ones who are getting healthy scratches. Nobody's on the offense when the offense constantly wets the bed week in and week out because the fix is in. Two things. One, they don't want Deshaun to be right. Because if they start picking and proving and blaming the offense, they be like, people are like, you know what? Deshaun right. He right for wanting to hold out. He right for not wanting to play with this franchise because this offense is anemic. Even though we already feel like that, they don't want to admit that to themselves. That too. They don't want to admit that they need Deshaun. They don't. They do not want to admit that they need Deshaun because this offense is pathetic without him. So what we gonna do? We're gonna give that smoke. All the smoke for the defensive players. They do their job. They play defense well. They force turnovers. Nothing at all. They force 5 turnovers and you win the game against a division rival. Don't get commended at all. You force 5 turnovers against the Dolphins, but you turn over the ball 4 times and you lose. You talk about 4 turnovers. If you turn the ball 4 times, turn the ball over 4 times, there's no chance of winning. You forced 5. Your defense did their job. Every time you gave a turnover, they got it right back for you. And then got you an extra one, so you won the turnover battle. But you ain't got no smoke for them. I mean, you got all the smoke for them. Ain't got no smoke for the offense, though. Okay. It's okay. The fix is in. The fix is in. Like I say, if y'all really think David Culley out here running shit, y'all out y'all mind. Y'all out y'all rabbit ass mind. Like square business. All David Culley is a figurehead. He's the guy, and he's doing his job. And what I mean by he's doing his job well. What I mean by that, all the blame goes to him. He's come out there and saying, I could Zach Cunningham. I suspended Zach Cunningham. I suspended Justin Reed. They don't hold my standards. That's what he's saying. So people have all the smoke for them. While Jack and Nick can just skate on by. Oh, David Culley, worst coach ever, blah, 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 blah. And all these things might be true. I'm not disputing none of those things. But what I'm saying is, that's what they want us to do. Divide and conquer. That's what they want us to do. They want us to have all the blame and smoke for him, for David Culley, while they skate on by. And that's the reason why he's getting paid. Because there's no reason why. Name an actual coach who really goes out there and says, I waved him. I cut him. I cut him. I did. I definitely cut him. Especially in their first year. A guy who last year led the league in tackles. So you about to tell me that in a year's time, you had a team you had one player last year who led the league in tackles, one player last year who led the league in passing yards, and you definitely got rid of one, and you're about to get rid of the other. A guy who was 80 tackles away from being your all-time leading tackler, a guy in Deshaun who's another season, maybe a season and a half, and definitely a season of touchdowns to be your all-time leading touchdown leader and passer. You just getting rid of these guys for nothing. For nothing. And they doing this in a 5-year span. Not 10 years, not 15. I know it's a young franchise and that got something to do with it. But also, they're playing at a high level as well. 5 years. 4.5 years' time, he's only 80 tackles away from being your franchise leader in tackles. And you cut him. You got nothing for him. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, get more videos. I holla.